Welcome race fans back to SVR. My name is Webbo, here to bring you today's S1 race around Circuit de Catalunya outside of Barcelona in Spain for a cloudy but warm day here at the historic circuit. Now as we head out onto the raceway, we have, it looks like, Vicinity out first. I'm just going to get screen organised. It looks like Barragos might actually be P1, fighting at the moment with Jose Cervantes. As we have a look, I think Vicinity was the driver who was out first. Let's see. I'm just trying to find who it is. It is Matt who is first out on the track, so we will follow in Matt's footsteps. Hello to everybody watching. Nice of Dummy to already comment on the video today. So please make sure that you feature as part of today's broadcast wherever possible. We definitely want to make you part of the action, and we rely on you to keep us informed from pit lane reporting over team radio as well, wherever possible. Here we have Matt Debater coming through the final sector of this this much used racetrack, and we will see him with no chicane, so just this turn. What is it? 13 and now 14 to finish the lap out into that iconic grandstand design. Where else but Circuit de Catalunya, as we head down the long straightaway, which we will see plenty of boost being expended in towards the famous dip into turn 1, across as much of the apexes as possible through turn 2, and we will see cars go side by side through there, hopefully safely. Turn 3 is the Punisher on the front left tyre, as is potentially turn 4 as well, and there'll be a lot of protecting over the tyre. Look how much that front left is worn already. Downhill slightly into turn 5 we go, and then straightening the car out and cutting across 6 before heading into turn 7, go uphill. It's a little bit low grip through turn 8, and now the famous turn 9, a dip out of the throttle only, a rely and trust on your aerodynamic setup to get you through turn 9 before a very heavy braking zone into turn 10, the famous hairpin with the Catalunya painted words on the outside of turn 10 into 11 and 12. Now we've got Rizback cheering on Matt and Pumpkin. Bon course Smokey. So it's a little bit of French patriotic love there. Through out of turn 14, the final corner goes Matt across on a 120.8 on his first flying lap. Swiftly beaten by 2 seconds by Vader. Run DMC slotting in P2 then. He's been very impressive lately, Run DMC. Jose for a moment was third, but Barragos gets him. Not feeling good about the race today, Barragos, he tells me, unfortunately. Christo's in 5th. We've got Matt in 7th, Pumpkin King in 8th. Roland, new with us here for the all-new team, I believe. Just double-check that. Yeah, we have the... he's in, I think, his proprietary... his proprietary name. It looks like a proprietary setup. I think that might be an Argentina flag, possibly, on his rear wing, but I think not team affiliated at this stage there, Roland. Before we continue then through the course, we've got V8 in 6th only here for the PSV racing squad. Smokey posting a 7th place first flying lap, and we'll ride with the Dark Lord of the Sith, Lord Vader, of course, here. As we do our level best. I'll give you a driver in focus as well. How about a little bit of Run DMC in picture as well as we run on here. I'll try and get you some good drivers to watch. I wonder if Barragos was running a slow lap, but no, it looks like everybody is only able to get the 1 flying lap out of their tyres. So looks like Roland, he's going to close this one out. He's heading in towards pit lane as well. Jose Luis Cervantes already in, as you get a good look at our golden PSV racing. Where's our live chat today? Let me hear from you. I'd love to hear who you're here to support and what you've made of the season so far. I'll go through the standings in the intermission between qualifying and the main race, of course. Saving my voice a little bit there. I hear Roland is quick, says Dummy. Can't unassociate the name Roland with the Dark Tower books by Stephen King. I'm a big fan. V8 goes into P3, into the provisional second row, starting just ahead of Beragos and only just behind Run DMC there, who is continuing to pound around the circuit on a brand new set of soft tyres. Still on an outlap for him, but Vader is just ahead of him on track and presumably getting ready for another fast run. So very interesting run today. Redux is watching. Hi Redux. His A+ was pulling mid-19s yesterday, bad conditions. Definite contender for podium or top 5, says Redux. With all the fantastic research there, I'd expect nothing less. Reds watching to cheer on PSV, and good to see everybody. So wonderful to have you joining us. That kind of information is absolutely golden. Golden has been Vader so far this season, unbeaten in feature races this season has Vader. So we will see if he can continue the perfect streak, and starting his flying lap we go on board with him, and you can see P2 currently. Run DMC, who's found some prodigious amount of speed recently. Vader right on the absolute limit on his home race here today. I don't know if he's altered his livery at all for the race, but we will wait and see on that one. You can do it V8, says Red. On the look at how much track Vader steals on the outside there. 23 thousandths of a second he's up in the first sector alone, as Vader will now use some boost. He hasn't used any boost yet, as we're into the 7th flying minute of qualifying. I don't know if they will get a third flying lap here. Vader very messy over turn 8. I wonder if that is going to cost him. Will he use any of the boost overtake here or not? Going down the short straight at the back of the circuit, down into the corner, and despite that turn 8 mistake, he is still significantly faster than he's been before. He's already got half a second on Run DMC. He's got an entire second on the 7th places and more, and he's not happy with the lap, and it's the last second to bail into the pit lane. Here comes Run DMC then, full focus and picture-in-picture for a moment then. Run DMC across the line, personal best, gets within a quarter of a second of Vader, and we'll ride with another driver. Beragos goes on pole. Beragos having used some boost. I must just say Beragos did use some boost on that one, so he will have spent a bit going down the back straight. And this is probably his proper push lap. There you can see boosting through turn 3. Outstanding. As soon as he gets on the throttle, he's mashing that boost button down to the outside. Good late entry. He's still up then. Oh, the rear of the car getting away from him. Like I say, he can use the boost on this lap though, and Vader will just hope he can get around untroubled. Roland into P3 ahead of Run DMC now, and V8 in 5th. Smokey is in 6th place with Jose in 7th and Matt in 8th. Good qualifying so far from Matt anyway. Beragos rounding the famous turn 9. Now we'll mash that boost button. I don't know why they've held on to so much boost for the last lap, because it looks to me like you can't use even more than half the boost allowance to finish out on a single flying lap, even if you use it on the exit at the final corner prior to your last flying lap. He doesn't use it in the little bit between turn 12 and 13, and he's into the pit lane as well. Surely that's way too late to make it happen then. Vader's waiting for his main lap then. Roland is waiting to head in for another set of tyres, I think. We are getting into the final minute, and there's no way to get around this racetrack from the pit lane now at this point, so maybe he's just had enough. Here we see Vader then out onto the start-finish line, still not using the boost as far as I can tell. Now he finally switches it on for a second. Why is he not using the boost here on this final flying lap? Down into turn 1 we go with Vader. See if he can just hook everything up a little bit better. V8 setting a new personal best, but stays 5th that time round as we come up to the first timing beam. Remember, Beragos was 28 hundredths up here. 28 thousandths up, sorry. Vader is 5 thousandths down on Beragos. He just needs to hook up that final portion. He's barely using the boost button at all. Vader, maybe you use it out of here. Here he goes. but just a tiny little bit, just to add to the torque on the engine. That's neater through turn 8 this time. We saw Barragos using the boost through turn 9. Vader isn't doing that. And down the back stretch, I wonder if Vader is just deliberately trying to toy with his food here. 93 thousandths of a second up on Barragos, who was not feeling confident heading into the race today. Round the right-hander of turn 12. 2 to go for Vader here. And like I say, he won't be able to use all of that boost that's left to him on the exit. The start-finish line comes up very quickly onto the boost. I think it's just not showing. An 18.498, new pole position for Vader ahead of Barragos in P2. Can he do any better? Not this time. Roland will not compete. Run DMC cannot go better as he crosses the line. It's V8 next with a penalty on his lap at the moment. Smokey putting in a good laps portion right now. As on the final lap we go, Wask saying, geez, Vader. Well, I'm not seeing any boost to speak of being used by Vader. It seemed to be pressed and then unpressed. Jose into second, says Wask. Jose into P2 on a 118.6. What can Smokey do? 19.3 is his best as he fires to the line. That was not a better lap from him. We've got a lot of drivers circulating slowly out there to finish out. But once again, it's Vader on pole position for the main race today, and a tremendous run from him. Unfortunately for Run DMC, who we watched picture in picture, it was only to be a 5th place or 4th. Well, yeah, it's 4th because we don't have Roland or V8. If I can get the streams running for our drivers, I will turn off Hector into the intervening period, because it is causing quite a bit of confusion for our racers. Are they supposed to have that much boost, says Red? Well, I mean, this is what we have. It's got 48 laps, so I really need you guys. It's my 3rd race consecutively with barely a moment break in between the races. So I need you to help me out with chat here today. It's Vader ahead of Jose just by 1/10 of a second. Barragos in 3rd, Roland in 4th, Run DMC in 5th, and V8 starting in 6th place back there with a drop in form recently, and more of that in a minute. We've got Smokey in 7th, Pumpkin King in P8, Mappy in 9th, Vicinity in 10th, with Matt ahead of Christo on the penultimate row, and at the back row of the grid we will have Soulshock and AMAC, who will finish this one. Without everyone connected, it's hard to follow the race. Sorry, Weber. No problem at all, dummy. It's somewhat difficult for me to manage Hector anyway. But what I'm going to try and do is set up some extra POVs as well. G1 was closer, says Red. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Here are our standings then for the championship so far. Vader perfect scoring his way. You can see he's even perfect across the feature races, not the sprint. He was beaten in the sprint race, but in terms of our Grand Prix style main races, Vader unbeaten so far in 4 out of 4, ahead of Barragos, who has managed 2 thirds and 2 seconds. V8 2 seconds, a third, and then, as I said before, a slight drop on round 4, and it's not looking like round 5 is qualifying that much better. So dropping out of the podium for the first time this season, V8 Eater. With Run DMC in 4th place, we have Jose in 5th, missing the first round, Jose, with Soulshock in P6. Christo is in 7th. We've got Matt Debater in 8th position, Mappy in 9th, and Smokey joined 9th with Mappy there, having just done the last 2 rounds of the championship. No hope for a couple of rounds. We've got a Pumpkin in P11. It looks like, now I was told something different, but it looks like we have changed the team name to Lucas Racing here. So I will have to sort that one out and get familiar with that. Here is the team's standings. Mega ahead there on 108 points, ahead of PSB on 78, Brocarga on 74, with Igala on 68. Gecko Racing is the new team, but Lucas Racing is the new name for Cyan Racing. so I'm told. So I haven't received a great deal of information about the team name or sponsorship thereof, but it looks like we have got a new sponsor. Gecko Racing should have a new livery as well once we've got our teams sorted out, and Hector Motorsports bringing up the rear on 35 points overall. So that is how things are looking. I'm going to give my voice a little break, and we've got a few minutes there. Jose saying he cheated. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that no, I think he is being serious about that. So Jose, I think using the boost, but we had a few people using the boost. Please don't do a redo. I'm already going to be finishing late as it is tonight. 48 laps of Catalunya await us here. I'm just going to try and get my my new S1 set up correctly. Hopefully Matt, while also building the grid, has decided to stream. He has done that, so I just need to get everybody set up. He's busy building the grid at the moment. I'll switch off this, but this is hopefully a bit of fun and good for us to enjoy multiple POVs, especially at the start. I find it really useful to be able to see what's happening throughout the grid. Not just the two fastest drivers as always. They will be right top and right middle. So apologies for the somewhat clunky way of doing this. I tried to set it up before everybody, before I put the stream on, but there it is. The drivers tend not to stream until they absolutely have to, so they don't put it on before qualifying. I'll try and make a note for everybody on that one. And just while people are messing with their setup, I will turn that off for a minute and just go quiet until the race is due to begin. Hopefully we will have an update, and we'll just ask Matt for start time. We can see no steward inquiries after the last race. That is very notable. I know we had some fairly big gaps, but GG to the race there for having no corrections to the racing. So that is very interesting. The first time we've seen that. So congratulations S1 on the previous round. I see you red once again. Have you any idea what's going on? Please, yeah, I will turn off the turn off the the live chat if there are any spoilers. I should probably have said that. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of if anyone knows what's going on in terms of Jose claiming to have cheated or what in the chat, I have no idea. One more minute until we get underway. Okay, it's race time. Let me know your predictions. No points if you predict Vader is the winner. Okay, let's get underway then for the next round of the championship. We have Run DMC and Vader on the front row of the grid. Sorry, no, we have Vader and Jose Luis Cervantes, Beragos and Roland, P3 and P4, as Beragos is starting on the soft tyres, mediums on the front row for 48 laps around the Circuit de Catalunya for round 5 of the championship. It's drop the clutch, it's go, 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 and an immediate good start from Vader there, who's using the boost straight away. I love this shot as they head downhill towards turn 1 for the first time of asking, but there's 3 wide situation happening as there is Run DMC down on the inside line. It's a horrible camera angle once you get into the corner, and it's round the outside going Run DMC in the Agala Motorsports light green and white right hand side of the car. Anyway, everyone through and safely, just about as far as I can tell, and continuing through. Then that's a 2-second penalty for Soul Shock. That must be a jump start situation. It's the new Team Gecko at the back of the grid, but it's Vader ahead at the front, but it's still lots of fighting. It's Beragos versus Jose Luis Cervantes. Beragos, remember, unusually for him on the soft tyres, using the boost as well to get by Jose into P2 straight away, and away we go then. I hope you're enjoying the multi-view there. Let me know if you get tired of it and you want to go back to single screen. But it is Run DMC ahead of Roland down into P6, losing out 2 positions in the all-new dark red and golden PDX Roland colour scheme. For him, but it's Run DMC round the outside, stuck with V8, who slips one down the inside in towards into the hairpin, and a nice overtake from Run DMC. That is outside to inside, just patiently waiting for his opportunity. Around we go and into the corner there, and Bummy giving us his prediction, which is great to see, I believe, and that is to see Beragos beating Roland and Vader in P0. Okay, yes, we have Vader in S0.5, I think it is, essentially our resident alien. We have a few resident aliens, and Vader on those medium tyres, Beragos on the softs. You can just try and upset Vader here and stop him from leading every lap. That'll be target number 1 as he darts first left, then right to try and find a weakness here. Vader is pushing like crazy here at his home track. He doesn't want to displease the crowd by letting Beragos by at this early stage. He doesn't necessarily know. He's fully focused on his own run right now, but he's very, very wary that he gets past early doors. Mappy ahead of Christo, 8th and 9th position. Smokey in 10th. Matt has dropped back into 11th place. Vicinity in the all-new and appropriately coloured for him, Team Gecko in P12. Soulshock in P13 for PSV Racing, and Amek at the back in the number 12 then. It's Vader leading by just 0.2 of a second as our main rivals from last season, who traded the wins. No such luck for Beragos so far this season. It's all been about Vader on the top step. He's had to listen to that Spanish national anthem over and over again this season. He'll be hoping to get his finish theme to be played today. It's the number 7, Barragos, running just behind Vader here, but a half-second penalty for Barragos. He may have to make the pass here just to stay ahead as they run on through. And you can see the fabulous views for our VR drivers and how they differ, actually. Pumpkinkin sitting much lower in the car, and Matt Debater sitting much taller in the car. I think I've heard him say before that he's quite a tall driver, so I think he might be doing that quite realistically, but he's so high in the cockpit, I'm not sure the halo will properly cover him in the case of an accident. Run DMC in P3. We've got Roland trying to get to terms with these S1 drivers at race pace here today in P4, with V8 hot on his heels and looking to get back onto the podium, as he shared the podium with Barragos and Vader for the first 3 rounds of the season consecutively. We've got Pumpkin King in P6. You've been watching his POV, I'm sure, as we continue on. Barragos also sits quite high and sort of pitched down slightly, you can see on his POV. It's fascinating how they've set up their cars differently, or their headsets differently there. I didn't hear what Drone Outlook Steve said. It got retracted for a second, but I've not seen you before, Drone. Good to see you. Hector working for Red. I'm happy for you. Smokey in 8th, Christo in 9th, Matt in 10th, and Vicinity in 11th. Got Soul Shock sandwiched between the two Gecko racing cars, and Jose has dropped all the way back to the back of the grid. Unfortunately, didn't catch what happened to Jose, but he's dropped way back. 1.2 seconds now is the gap between Vader and Barragos. Barragos using these soft tyres. You have to change compound, no further requirement, and certainly no refueling here for 48 laps. We've already had 4 of them. The race, nearly 10% elapsed, and it's very frantic right now. Oh, okay, no problem. Red, I understand. Right, thank you for that anyway. As round the outside on the exit of turn 9 goes Barragos. That's dangerous territory. He's fastest lap for him so far. Here comes Run DMC, sorry, here comes Roland. V8 down the inside into turn 10. A classic Barcelona overtake, that one, down into the turn 10. And it probably built from the exit out of turn 9. It was a good run here. Right side. Oh, I love the dummy from V8 that time, and I hope Dummy loved the dummy as well. Good run from him, and fabulous overtake. So back up to P4 now for V8, but back will come Roland. He'll have the benefit of a bit of the boost. They're both able to use the boost considerably. Remember last race, one of our drivers did not use the boost at all, and we found out later on in the Discord chat that it was because he was fuel limited for the race. He didn't feel like he would be able to get the car home if he used the boost, and therefore extra fuel. So very interesting from him. Matt in 10th now is fighting hard with Christo round the outside of Christo in turn 4. Very dangerous, and I think he's going to end up letting Vicinity by. He does. Vicinity says thank you very much for that one. Miscalculation from Matt that time, but working the wheel furiously, and you love to see him have a go nonetheless. So attempt was made, attempt was failed, but I'm sure he will not be shy of giving another go. Loving this new Gecko livery, by the way. The colour shift shining beautifully in the Spanish cloud shine that we've got with us today. Jose, our Mexican driver, running in the number 24 for what was the Cyan Racing team, has been renamed Lucas Racing, but not rebadged just yet. And that's Matt Debater off, and I wonder what happened there. He managed to go so wide, it looks like the car reset itself. Down we go into turn 10. Did he just go off track for a second there? Or did he light up the rears coming through this one? Yeah, we've seen that plenty of times into the rallycross track there. I don't know if that was a reset to track or what, but Matt down at the back of the grid now, unfortunately. 2.7 seconds is Vader's lead. Barragos has dropped right back because Run DMC has come by and into turn 4 this time. That's a tyre differential there. Barragos not able to live with the tyre wear on the soft tyres at this early stage. Only 6 laps in, and he's already bleeding lap time. 22.2 the last lap out from him. That is not normal from Barragos at all. We're looking at a likely 2-stop here, but It's a lot of tyre saving required for a one-stopper. V8, the next one to reel in Barragos. Barragos reminding me that the last time he didn't finish on the podium was an S1 race in 2024 in Monza, the first racing season of SVR. So will we see Barragos? We will see Barragos into the pits. V8 likewise. He's made better use, I think, of his soft tyres over the course of the first 6 laps than Barragos has. Medium tyres for the majority of the grid. That's a 1.5 second penalty for Pumpkin King. That'll be a track limit cut, unfortunately for him. Next time down we go. It's all about watching that front left tyre today is the information I've been getting. And as Dummy says, those tyres for V8. It was an auto reset. It's an invisible wall thing on the track for Matt. Thanks, Redux. Yeah, you know a bit about that. you know all our track limits and all the reset points. I know, because you do so much research for everybody. So yeah, got lucky with the reset to avoid damage. Says Kyra. Yeah, I think I probably agree with you. That was very fortunate. Christo in P6, Smokey in 7th, Vicinity in 8th, Jose, nightmare start, but he's already back to 9th, thanks to problems for everybody else. We'll have a good close look at this these 2 new liveries actually as soon as possible. Barragos has rejoined back in P12 on the medium tyre, hasn't decided to switch to the hards, but V8 has. So V8 I don't think will be going for a one-stopper, but he'll just get to the point where he can two-stop, where he can use the mediums to the end of the race. We'll find out about what point that is once the front runners finally end up in the pit lane. Soulshock at the back, he's also put on hard tyres early doors as well. I don't think made quite the same progress as V8 did at the start of this race. 1.7 seconds the gap from Vader back to Run DMC. Run DMC making up for a difficult qualifying session and is in a net P2 at this stage, with using them as medium tyres early on. It's lap 8 of the 48 and it's working very, very well. I hope you're enjoying the new view. If you want me to go back to full screen, let me know. But hopefully I'm up on the big TV today with you, so you can see everything in live living colour and fabulous detail here. You can see every moment of everybody's race. I spend my time focusing entirely on the main screen. There's too much for me to cope with. And Roland's stolen my race number. I've just noticed. I wasn't even asked permission for that one. Well, Roland, honestly, what do you think you're doing? I probably ended up having to rescind my race number thanks to not racing this year as a permanent driver. I was going to be a reservist, but unfortunately I ended up being accounted for during every race session this year, so I won't be able to do any proper racing or reserve driving. Roland in P3 deserves that number, I'm sure, much more. I would say I'd race him for it, but I don't think I'd be much competition. Mappy, looked like there was a Canadian flag on the helmet. There is a Canadian flag on Mappy's helmet. So I didn't realise that our USA flagged driver Mappy might actually be Canadian. But what a performance so far from Mappy. This is very, very cool to see him up as high as P4 at this stage. Some 12 seconds off the lead after just 9 racing laps. We've got Pumpkin in 5th, Christo in 6th position, half a second back from him, running very well together there with the medium tyres on both cars. Smokey likewise on the mediums, but he has burned that front left tyre away, and he's going to have to pit. He may even be on a 3-stopper unless he can switch to the hard tyres, but that front left is insanely used compared to everybody else. The new Gecko Racing Team livery here for Vicinity. I love the fact that the Gecko has a VR helmet on it, and like I say, once we get deep into the race, we'll have a really detailed look at the new liveries here. Jose hasn't been able to update his yet, it seems. Medium tyres for AMAC, Matt on the mediums, and then Barragos switching to those medium tyres. He's dropped 30 seconds to Vader. I think, looking at it, that he's actually probably catching Vader at this point. I'd love to be able to put that, get that information on screen for you. We are working on a solution for that, but it is rather difficult to organise. A 120.9 for Barragos, a 1:21.6. So yes, he matched Vader's PB of a 20.9 on the previous lap, but on lap 9, Barragos was technically faster than Vader. On brand new tyres, I must say. Run DMC is the fastest lap so far, but he has been using his boost more so than Vader in front of him. I think Run DMC vying for a podium at this stage of the season. So I think he has not been able to secure a podium yet, but securing 2 P4s so far. So he's been tantalisingly close. I think he's in probably the best position he's been in yet this season and the most consistent. He's got the fastest lap so far, but it was a bit of a flash in the pan. All the other laps have been 1:21s or mid 1:21s since that since that sort of middle 1:20.782 he got on the previous circulation. We haven't seen the soft tyres yet for the front drivers, of course, with the exception of Barragos and V8, who've headed in. But of course, while they were fat with fuel, their cars will not have been at their optimum speed. So Run DMC, lap 11 for him. And Vader obviously in front. We've got Roland in P3, Mappy in 4th position, 3 seconds in front and behind of Mappy at this stage, and Pumpkin King fighting with Christo and getting by Christo that time round as well. Fantastic run from him. I don't know if we've caught that in the replay buffer, have we? Sadly not. I think that was into turn 1 or down the main straightaway. It's Pumpkin King in 5th, Christo in 6th, and they're heading in towards turn number 7. And across the apron of turn 8 uphill, and then looking for their turning point, the blind apex, blind exit, turn 9, where you just have to trust that you've memorized it correctly. And the car is working to its absolute best. It's Christo, 0.9 of a second in the Agala Racing Team car, whose fastest driver today is Run DMC in P2. We have got some tremendous running from several drivers, some standout performances so far. Jose has got by Vicinity. There is a little bit of needle between Jose and Vicinity, it must be said. I wonder if we'll see any pit stops here on lap 11. I think they're going to try for 12, but some of those front lefts are looking very, very bad indeed. You've got Matt, whose front left is very worn. Barragos' gap to the lead is now 29.1. Roughly, pit stops are taking 30 seconds. V8 is in 12th position because we don't have to count for fuel. So obviously the only thing that changes that is if you've picked up damage. That is a larger run. So it was the end of lap 10 that Smokey came in on his from his medium tyres. He's gone for a second set of medium tyres, and at that rate of wear, he will be 2, or even he might even have to 3 stop this one. Smokey, so he's got great pace to be in S1, definitely belongs here, but in terms of monitoring the performance of the car, and over the course of the race we had a temporary yellow flag. I think that might have been Soul Shock just for a moment, but all is well on Soul Shock's car at this stage. It was just over the runoff point on the track, possibly lap 12 of the 48 as Run DMC fires out of the final corner, still using that boost, even though he's got a 3-second gap to the car in front, and there's nothing really worth fighting for behind at this stage. But he's cognizant that he's fighting with V8 and with Barragos. It'd be really cool if we can see those 3 drivers fighting over just 2 podium positions later on in the race. Roland is in P3 in the all-new Lucas Racing colour scheme. And what else have we got going on? We've got 3 drivers in quick succession further back here, and that is Vicinity ahead of AMAC, and then behind him Barragos, just 0.7 of a second. Barragos, of course, on those new medium tyres, running out very, very wide. Barragos, how much is he using his boost at this stage? He had to use it quite a bit early doors, but yeah, he's able to stay with these cars considerably. The front left on the 2 Gecko Racing cars wearing out to a great degree through the first quarter of the race. So the drivers will be eyeing up their pit stop strategy. How are things behaving on this day in history, in this lobby, these temperatures and wind direction and all sorts of the car is always a living thing, and you never quite know how it's going to behave. You can do all the research you like, but there's nothing to stop essentially the lobby showing a different temperature to what was predicted, or a very strong opposite direction wind, or something that might just throw a spanner in the works of your strategy. Beragos clearing both cars there on the way in. Vicinity headed in towards pit road, but Amex stays out for Team Gecko. Not gonna run a stacked pit stop here. Of course, our drivers don't have to worry about stacked pit stops in GT7. We have sufficient pit bays for everybody to complete. Solshock's in 11th, Smokey's in 12th right now, with Matt having just stopped with V8, having got off his hard tyres very quickly. V8 didn't like those hard tyres, so he stopped twice, despite running the hard tyres in that portion of the race. Vader leads by 1.8 seconds only at this early stage of the race. Normally he's completely checked out, but I think he is protecting these tyres super hard. He previewed this tactic in the live chat of our rookies race earlier on, as he was cheering on his teammate Hervas, and he was saying you're going to see some tyre saving in this race. Oh, he didn't like his front wings, says Red. Right, V8 had made contact with something, had he? And had broken his front wing, so that makes sense. Okay, but he's got off the hard tyres nonetheless. So yeah, taking another set of mediums. So we might have to use 3 sets of mediums and 3 stop this race with that mini stop there for the hard tyres. Roland and Amac in the pit lane at the moment. Remember, no refueling this season, so the drivers have to manage their projected fuel lap remaining in the tank, in their hood, to make sure that they don't run out of their fuel. If they were to put just 1 litre of fuel in the car, it would be a 20-second penalty, and that compounds for every additional litre. So it's ridiculous. Run DMC way out wide, just redecorating the painted racetrack surface there, but just running a little bit of a long brake pedal at that moment. It seems to be on the Igala car. There's like a sort of a plug and socket on a flex situation. He goes into the pit lane, and he was struggling to turn in the opposite direction there to the wear rate on the tyre, it seems. Mappy running in P3 and protecting his tyre well as well. Mappy, I think, is really gaining from having Vader as a teammate, teaching him the ways of the Sith, and I think Mappy very happy out there. Is that okay to say, a happy Mappy? And he's on the medium tyres. Look at his tyre wear. He's actually protected his left rear slightly more than Vader at this stage, although Vader was trying to hold off Beragos at the early point of the race. Pumpkin King still hasn't been able to get away from Christo, so they continue on their starting set of medium tyres. There's a lot of careful tyre management going on here today, which is good to see. Drivers have to deploy these extra racing tactics to make sure that their strategy will work. Keep an eye on the fuel, and keep an eye at all times on that front left tyre temperature. You might even ask Hector, our AI race engineer. For those of you who don't know, drivers are connected via a telemetry recording AI agent, Hector, and they can say, "Hey Hector, tell me my front left tyre temperature every lap," or tell me the gap to the car in front, for example, and Hector will be able to do that. Or I did try once last year to ask Hector to just tell me if my tyres exceeded like 85 degrees Celsius or something. It didn't work. I'm hoping that it does work now. But Beragos will let me know post-race, I'm sure, when he watches this back. If he watches it back. He may not. Depends how the race goes, I think, sometimes. Beragos in P5, 27.5 seconds off the lead. Remember, the gap he's looking for is to be within 30 seconds of Vader, which will put him back into the podium contention positions there later on. He needs a really smooth run. Very unusual to see Beragos go for an aggressive start to the race, like a soft tyre run at the start. But he's quite happy, I think, with his strategy. Just doesn't connect well with the racetrack. So he's trying something different, and hoping that on race day things differ for him a little bit. Speak up in the live chat for me, would you? I need some company. I've been trying to get Brummer into the comms box, but if there are other drivers in the GT3 divisions who would like to be a guest on our S1 streams and provide some driver pundit comments, do get in touch with me. These are long races, so the G1 would be open for a Formula top tier driver to take part in, and the S1 obviously open to a G1 driver or someone I know well from the rookies or the G2 as well. So yeah, if you feel like being part of it beyond being a race engineer or beyond, and if you are a race engineer as well, I'd be happy to connect you in via radio, and we can chat with the team principal mid-race. That would also be pretty awesome. So yeah, just an appeal out there from me, if you would like or think it'd be fun to try it out. No commitment necessary. Here is Roland in P7 as he comes to cross the line in this all-new Lucas Racing colour scheme. Now, I say my first thought was that is the Greek flag, but it's actually like a golden, I think it's the Argentinian flag possibly, or something similar. But anyway, this is a really cool Lucas Holistic Racing for and a nice colour scheme there. We do have a red and black team, so the addition of the gold differentiates it obviously nicely from Team Mega, but yeah, very cool. There's a lion insignia with 3 stripes as well on the shield, so some great options there. What does it say there? Complete driver, complete performance. So not modest at all, not which is interesting. What I can't see on the livery is a Webocom sticker. So anyway, good, nice to see something new with an Audi helmet as well. I think he might have managed to persuade Audi into the sport, which is pretty cool. Smokey's in 7th place. Pumpkin King chasing him down now. Pumpkin King on the medium tyres. Roland is Uruguay. Yes, that makes sense. Thank you very much. Thank you, Redux. So he would not have appreciated me calling him Argentinian. My apologies, Roland. But yeah, excellent to have another nation competing there. Of course, he's racing under the USA flag, but that tends to be where your PSN was first registered, which sucks. We've got Soulshock in P9, Matt in P10. In the F1 game, for example, you can choose which nation of the UK you represent, whether you're Corsican or French, whether you're Basque or mainland Spanish, or you're you know, all sorts, and you can actually do world flag, just non-affiliated to any country, which again I have to respect when people feel that way. Looks like V8's been off the circuit again, unfortunately. Red, any news on V8? What happened to the rear of the car this time? Looks like he might have backed himself up into Barry. We will hope to get an update from Red, but he's at the back of the grid now on used medium tyres. The only hope really is, can he use the hards later on? But the rear of the car is not under control, and the balance is just not good for him through turn 2 there. The damage on the rear right, so as he turns to the left, thankfully there's not many left turns. Yes, he also didn't like his rear wing. Thank you, Red. But how did he damage it is the question I need. 19 seconds separate Vader from his teammate Mappy at this stage, with Vader still having not pitted off those medium tyres. He's run 20 laps, and I think he might be the only one. No, sorry, this is Mappy and Vader on 20 laps on their tyres. Run DMC is well into his run now on his second set of mediums. Spun at on turn 7. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Red. Run DMC 0.6 of a second away from Christo. So we got out in front of his teammate on those new medium tyres. Still using that boost nicely. The Agala Motorsports team, beautiful livery. We've got the also slightly green, but black and green instead of white and green. That looked like Run DMC might have been off again, was it? In front here, but all is okay. Vader finally pits at the end of lap 20 off his medium tyres he started the race on. We'll see if Mappy filters into the pit lane as well. Here comes Christo. That makes life a little bit easier for Barragos. His gap to Vader was about 29 seconds. Following those drivers, I think, has cost him dearly. I think he will see Vader in front of him on coming out of the pits. No, he can't. In fact, that's Run DMC. So something went down with Barragos to lose him a few seconds in that hunt there. Vader back out in P1. It's insane, it says Redux. Absolutely. 5 seconds total back to Barragos. Mappy rejoins in 5th behind Roland. So Run DMC is out there in P2 now on genuine race pace against the likes of Vader and Barragos. That is Run DMC, still only 3.2 seconds away, but I expect he will be planning to either further stop this race and go on to either 1 stop and go to the hards from here, or 2 stop and go to the softs at the end. We shall see later on, but sometimes the drivers leave the soft tyres to the end and find out they haven't got enough fuel to really push very hard. So we'll see what Vader does now on the brand new medium tyres. I expect we'll get fireworks on the next racing lap, lap 22. In fact, why don't we ride on board with the Dark Lord of the Sith on this lap, because this is most likely to be his strongest push lap, I would imagine. 3/4 still remain in his boost tank, or battery as it is. I think it's battery. I'm thinking of correcting myself now, but anyway, round we go into turn 3, looking very lively out wide. You can see his POV in the top right as well, of course. Red can't count 7 and 8. No problem, no problem. They're very close to one another. We'll let you off that one, Red. And into turn 5. Now, last week, Red, Rents was saying that we might be able to get news about a certain achievement unlocked by you. Let me know if that has occurred to the positive. It is fuel based. It allows more air fuel into the engine, so it's kind of more like a NOS, but yeah, understood. Okay, Redux essentially opens up a carburetor or an air intake. Interesting. So it does end up using the more fuel, and it is a time limited rather than battery electric or even rich mix limited moment. So it's slightly more pure, but I'm really fed up with boosting. So I'm glad that it's not forming a big part of today's race. Vader just knows every track limit so well, so very well, that he abuses the outside curbs wherever possible. Run DMC though is on very close. In fact, he was faster that lap than Vader that time round. So Redux saying you can use it early to scrub weight faster and decrease your fuel and tyre usage late race. Yeah, so that was the problem. I think it was Gecko last time out who couldn't use his boost. He saved it and then didn't have enough to reach the end of the race on the fuel, so ended up just not using boost at all. I thought for a moment that he'd basically not mapped to the button. Smokey in the pit lane off his medium tyres. We've still got a close battle here on the podium between Vader, Run and Barragos. V8 might have featured had he not been off track a couple times there. And Barragos then in the Brokaga livery, allied with Zelen Racing in G1 and G2. And also, I just learned today, not with Team Green in the rookies, but Team Yellow. So, yeah, that felt obvious, but then wasn't. Anyway, Roland, P4. A great debut from him. This is rare and thin air that he is circulating with. 23 seconds off Vader's lead. He's on a different strategy. He's on the hard tyres right now. And a 16-second in front. Mappy 4.5 seconds further back in 5th position. Got Pumpkin King, who has shaken off Christo. He has shaken off Christo, who's 3 seconds, 2.5 to 3 seconds behind him. So looking good out there for a top 7 finish. Matt in 8th position. Was down into 11th around lap 3, but he's back to 8th position now, although a pit stop is looming. And then we have Vicinity in the new Gecko Racing outfit. And it's fairly appropriate, orange and green, or golden green, I should say, with a little bit of white text on here for our Irishman Vicinity. I just love the fact that the Gecko has a VR helmet on. right there as well on the side of the tank there. You can see the Irish flag on his nose. He's got the Toyota flag as well, Toyota's badge as well. And thank you for the Weber.com sticker, even though it's a brand new livery. I think that's a little gecko on the rear wing, just above the 42 there as we look at it. But I love the colour shift as well. You've got the green, and then it fades off to a sort of purpley silver. Beautiful, beautiful design work from them. I think it's mostly a colour change from our former team, so very cool. All the same to get that together. So its vicinity circulating through. Beragos in the pit lane now for his pit stop. We've got Jose, who hasn't updated to the new Lucas Racing colour scheme, so he's in his former car colour of cyan. They had a previous livery, cyan, that I actually preferred to this one. Didn't have any of the red accents on it. It was white and had this cool kind of ripped stripe effect that I thought was really cool for Team Cyan. Before we got to love a white racing car all day long. Amax in 11th. Smokey in P12 with Soul Shock in 13th position, and V8 with a 1 second penalty just to further annoy V8, unfortunately, in P14 there for PSV. What could have been had we had 4 drivers vying for that 3-place podium that we had left. Again, guys, I need more help from you in live chat, more info from pit lane or team radio, or just asking questions of what's going on, because we're at the halfway period of the race, lap 24 of the 48. We've got Vader leading by 4.8 seconds now because Beragos has ducked out of this. Run DMC is still within 5 seconds of Vader. Roland too far back to see, but he's 21 seconds further back from Run DMC. Beragos has emerged from the pit lane all the way out in P6 now, with a lot of work to do. He's on the hard tyres, so Beragos has run soft, medium, hard so far, and I would imagine the hards are a good tyre to take him home here, but it's a long old race on the hard tyres, so he may decide that his pace is just too slow to bother. 131 is the outlap for Beragos. He runs through. His genuine position is Christo in 7th behind him. So Beragos will be the man on the move. I think at this point he's the one kind of out of position. I expect to see Pumpkin King stay on track for a little while here in the 911. Redux saying he'll have enough to take him home here because Vader ran 20 on the mediums. But the thing is, Vader and Mappy are doing something with their time management and their setup, driving style, unlike the other drivers. So I would say that's probably a human driver 18 laps equivalent on the mediums. But yeah, it's whether Beragos has got the patience to run on at the hard tyre pace here to the finish. I think he may decide that he's better served. He would actually regain the time it takes to pit again to get back onto the medium tyres. I'm not sure. I mean, Beragos, if anyone in this league has patience, I think it's Beragos. So I'm sure he will stick to the plan that he has laid out. And that lap was a 121.6. Contrast that with Vader, a 121.2. So brand new hard tyres, not significantly slower, so I think that further adds to support to what Redux is saying. I think he will be a-okay. That was Vader over the curbstones on the exit of turn 9 there. Obviously Run DMC not pushing quite as hard, but Mappy looking awesome. He's put the soft tyres on for a quick stint here, so he's gone medium, soft, and then he'll go medium again. I think if we can get through to lap lap 28.29, he'll easily be able to run those medium tyres home on a lower tank of fuel at that point. Red saying, I don't even know how V8 is feeling. The atmosphere is quite tense in team chat. Yeah, that's tough. I can't imagine a team chat that's got Soul Shock in it being tense. I just can't. So I'm going to need a recording of that Red, to reassure me that such a thing is possible. I'm sure in a few laps' time we will suddenly get the S2 drivers show up in the live chat. They usually do. So here is Mappy, 0.7 of a second away from Roland as he closes in now. Let's ride on board with him, shall we? Tell you what we'll do is we'll run this. We'll run this camera as we watch Mappy try and catch Roland, who's on his hard tyres at this stage. Vader's lap time just holding back by around 0.6 seconds a lap to get the tyre life. So he's just treating he's going every right-hander, high-speed right-hander. Red saying the live chat, the radio chat is just quiet and it scares him. I think you're easily scared, Red. Looking back then, you see the mountains in the background. Mappy got close that time, but not this way. Not just yet. It's not time to pass just yet. Lucas Holistic Racing is the new team name here, in place of Siam. Sorry, Fred. But if you are scared by a quiet team radio, you know. Mappy not quite closing in at this point. We've got fairly large amount of boost on Roland's car. And it's an overcast, warm, humid day in Spain. 4.1 meters per second crosswind down the two straights here. That will upset the cars as they turn into turn 3 and through turn 4, as the wind essentially blows across the shark fin on the back of the car. Will upset the back end, I'm sure. There's not much doing on that camera angle right now. It's always good when they get really close, but it looks like Roland's unlocked something, or Mappy's dropped. Yeah, I think it's more likely Mappy has dropped off his soft tyres. I think Mappy using an extra set of tyres here at the end. Vader on the mediums. Mappy who chose the softs on this run. So Vader going medium, question mark, probably soft. And Mappy going medium, soft, question mark, probably mediums. Like I say, he's got through to lap 29. That should leave the remainder of the race comfortably for a set of mediums. Don't go around again, please, Mappy, as the softs are going to decay even further. He's got a 5.1 second gap behind him to Pumpkin King. Mappy could well be on for another driver of the day performance here in P4 if he can bring it home there, but he will drop behind Pumpkin King, who will almost certainly have another pit stop left to make. There's Beragos, 1.3 behind Pumpkin King. He's dispatched Christo quickly as our flying Finn in the Mika Hakkinen helmet. Beragos, not a Kimi Räikkönen stan, very much a Mika Hakkinen driver. Lucas saying, great racing from Mappy. Welcome to the live chat, Lucas. You've been holding off on us, but yeah, absolutely agree. So it's Beragos in P6 as he is chasing down Pumpkin King. Christo in P7. And then a big gap back to Jose at this stage, who is back with his great rival, Vicinity. Used hards on both cars. Fair fight between these two, I think. So it'll be interesting to see them come together. 124.3 the last lap from Vicinity. 124.1 the last lap from Jose Luis Cervantes. How much for that house, by the way, on the entry into turn 7? I wouldn't mind it. Redux saying Mappy got the first set of mediums to 20, so yeah, absolutely. Be able to get the last set up there, no problem. So I'm surprised he's waiting until now to pit, but he's in. He is in at the end of lap 30 for him. A lot of love for this livery. Let me know what you guys think for the new Gecko team livery and the new Lucas Racing team livery as well. Do you have a pick between the two? I think the way, whilst this is slightly more garish in its colour choice, the way it reacts to the light is a very interesting visually. I think it looks really, really cool. As I think it is, by the look of things, slightly adapted version of our former team. Thinner black separating lines between the orange and colour shift green, silver. There is Mappy, who's just come out of the pit lane right with Jose. And there's the medium tyres for Mappy then. Gap to the outright leader, Vader, who has not pitted for the second time yet to Mappy. 1 minute and 4. I can't see other gaps. I'd have to do furious mid-race maths, and you don't want that from me. Certainly can't set anything by me when I'm commentating, trying to figure things out. So outlap for Mappy at the moment. Needs to get past Jose very, very quickly. Remember, hard tyres on Jose's car at the moment, and they're well used as well. So Mappy, if he wants to get that P4, possibly threaten P3 today, these are the crucial moments for him. Make the move, get by, and build. But he has used a lot of his overtake boost as well, so he hasn't got that power. You can see the engine hoop there glowing red. That means he's in the final 20% of his boost allowance, and that helps the driver in front of him to know he's got a bit of an advantage in that regard. Yeah, just bear with me one moment. My apologies. Yeah, Redux just saying Vader will pit around lap 40 to leave 8. I think we did get one driver on the softs at the start on 9 laps on the softs, so who knows? Around that point, we will see them in. Let's keep an eye on Vader's tyre wear at the moment. Here he is. In fact, he's caught. That is... I want to say that's Vicinity. No, that's AMAC and... it's not Liquid Gecko. Who's he with at the moment? It's not Sol. It's Smokey. Smokey in the Brokaga 45. I wonder if Smokey is keeping Baragos motivated through the course of the race, as down through the down the inside of turn 10 goes Vader. A little bit of excitement for Vader to think about there. 10-second gap. Run DMC's keeping him pretty honest, but he will stop a lot earlier here, Run, before Vader. So I don't know if he'll have to go in shortly and switch out onto the hard tyres to finish the race. I think Run's been on 2 sets of mediums at this point, but we will keep track of what Run is up to. If you've got inside information there in the pit lane, let me know. I can't memorize everybody's tyre selections, but Run on for a provisional P2 right now. Roland looking at a possible P3 or 4, depending on the progress of Mappy. But of course, he's running the tortoise strategy. Mappy using the mediums and softs, Roland using the mediums and the hards today, without the benefit of lots of races here to build up some experience. Roland is putting in a tremendous strategic race. Long races these are for our drivers. It's lap 34 of the 48. So he's looking very good out there. A very, very impressive debut. If we had a better debut from someone in the top tier of these tricky to drive SF23s, take nothing away from our GT3 drivers, but everybody spends time in GT3s. There's no surprises when you're driving a GT3 car, but these cars can snap on you very quickly, and I think Roland has got to grips with this beautifully well. Very, very impressive debut out there. So Baragos has had a rough time of it trying to get back through traffic, says Redux. After that first pit, he emerged in the thick of things. He was stuck behind Igala teammates, holding him back together. Yeah, so Igala, I mean, yes, that is a legitimate tactic for the team. If they are not given blue flags, if Christo is not given a blue flag, essentially to wave Baragos by, if it's a genuine gap for position, he can protect Run DMC's place, as he straddles that Cheeto curb on the exit. I don't know what you call a yellow Cheeto. come to think of it. But anyway, Christo 0.6 of a second back from Pumpkin King, and this is a great battle here at the tail end of the podium, albeit that we are expecting Mappy to feature on that P4 position later on in the race once the strategy takes effect. Jose Luis Cervantes into the pit lane, getting off those hard tyres with 14 laps left to go for him. When he comes out of the pit lane. So many screens, says Kaisha the Pixels. Well, I hope you like it. It's more interesting when we've got these really long races, I think, to be able to see. I'd love to be able to alternate between different drivers, but I could only get 5 together for you prior to the race today. Yeah, so tough for Beragos to get back to the podium, says Redux. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure he's equal to it, but he did preview the race for me and say that he it's been a long time since he hasn't been on the podium, so he's probably got that in his mind. He wasn't expecting much from today, which is often a good way to go about doing your racing. He's nearly used all of his boost as well. Just calculating the fuel to the end of the race. Probably won't be racing anybody too hard at this later on into the race, but we'll keep our eye on this triplicate, this great battle pack here. Pumpkin King currently in third with Roland, and now Christo down the inside. Roland leaving space, and that's impressive as well, because we've had A+ drivers ranked who've shown up and shown us not the best racing behavior, but Roland, that was impressive. To not close the door on Christo. You don't want to block your copybook very early in a new league, but still impressive. Pumpkin King holding these two off for now as well. Hard tyres for Roland, so his pace is very impressive with these medium drivers behind him, but Christo goes off, unfortunately, and Roland's patience paying off there. How did this go wrong? We don't see a lot of drivers going wrong out of turn 5. I was just saying earlier, these cars snap on you easily, and there we have it. So the one ray of sunshine for Christo, silver lining I should really say. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. The one silver lining would be that he's not far from a pit stop, and he's within another set of tyres to reach the end of the race. It won't be softs, but he might be able to switch on a different set of tyres now. And actually the hard tyres are not so poor a tyre over a stint distance. They may be giving up only 4 or 5 tenths of a second, and yet Christo making the sensible decision to get that repair done. But that helps Mappy, of course, who's into his final bit of boost. As he crosses the line, his medium tyres should be golden to the end. Pumpkin pitted as well on that lap, so it's just Roland out there in Mappy's way of a podium. 16 seconds. Roland, though, will need to pit, I think. We'll see if he can drag these hard tyres home, but that's a 16.8 second gap to Mappy on brand new mediums, and it's catchable even if he doesn't pit. So appreciate that, Kaiser the Pixels. So yeah, good to hear from you. I'm assuming that our S2 drivers will rock up very soon. Mappy then into the 52nd minute of our 48 lap race so far. So it looks like we will be going over the hour point. I think it's a long slog is Barcelona. Really tough for the drivers. If it's tough to watch, imagine how hard it is in the temperatures of the of our races here. There's something gone wrong in front of Mappy. But that's a lapped driver, I think, off the circuit. Let's try and find out who that is. If I can just flick through. Looks like it was probably V8 for the 3rd time today. V8. Ouch. And that's a textbook tank slapper as he waits patiently to rejoin the race. What a good sportsmanship from V8, especially when he's probably in a horrible mood right now. At the tail of the field, just trying to pick up some points here to the end of the race. But V8, this is a tough one. I don't know if anything's going on for V8 that's stopping him getting his practice in, or just had a couple of really bad tracks for him. But yeah, 3 podiums to start the season, and then Gilles Villeneuve and this Spanish race have not been kind to V8, so he's going to drop back. I think Run DMC will be knocking on the door of the third in the championship with a finish like this today. We'll see if he can get home. 20 seconds at the moment is Vader's gap to the end, and he's not even looking that critical on his front left here. I'm sure he can't wait to get on the soft tyres, but he wants to stamp his authority on the fastest lap. Not that it's worth much, it's not worth any points, because it's the unknowable boost situation. Roland pits now. Roland isn't going to take those hard tyres to a finish, so Mappy will be absolutely overjoyed. What chance today of a 1-3 for the Mega Racing team. This is going to be a famous and fabulous finish here if he can make it work. So Beragos up to 4th. He gets past Roland, but Roland is coming out on a new set of soft tyres, and that is probably a little bit ambitious to get home, but hey, good luck to him. That's what is that? 9. That's 10 racing laps then to get out of these soft tyres. I hope he's got his strategy right and he can make it work, because we're in for a really interesting run. 7.8 seconds separate Beragos and Mappy, who have pitted to the end of the race. Roland is only 3.8 seconds behind Beragos here. Beragos going for these consecutive podium finishes since 2024. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to call him the bridesmaid of SVR S1, but he is often, unfortunately, second to Vader. He has beaten Vader on his day, no doubt about it, but not this season. Unfortunately, Vader, having found something pretty amazing in the off-season and now adding consistency to an incredible run. VR Mafia have deployed. Thank you so much, appreciate it. And everybody that takes their time to like, hype, share or comment on our videos today. It really helps us build the channel into something special. And if you are feeling generous, you can always head over to Webo Commentary, my channel, and do likewise somewhere. There's a yellow flag ahead on the circuit. I hope that's not Mappy. It's all good. It's a car that's just been off the circuit. Let's just go back. Tell me it's not V8. It's not V8. It's Matt D Beta here. Let's have a look at Matt. Wow, that is a wild one through turn 1 and into the scenery of turn 2 from Matt. We couldn't even catch it at the end there. But again, just like V8, letting everybody go by. V8 actually gets through. 1.4 seconds. Run DMC pits. That's a big surprise for me. But I wasn't tracking his pit strategy, so no surprise when you look at this. Run DMC in. There's a gap of 45 seconds to Mappy. It looks like a free pit stop for Run DMC, so no big issues there for him. I'll tell you what, the Rallycross circuit would be well funny to see an S1 sprint race at the Rallycross circuit. Must have been the wind, says Red. You're probably not wrong. That's a tailwind as you turn out of turn 1 and into turn 2. So could well be a gust of wind, or possibly Ericsson hit him. You never know. Ericsson is always there for everybody. Here come our S2 drivers. No spoilers, please, for either F1 or S2. Vader pits to get off his medium tyres. The first laps he will run not on a medium tyre, and it will be lap 42 for him once he crosses the line. No, it will be 41 as he heads in. Vog says, check out the DGDR podcast. Number 1 GT7 VR podcast drops every Monday. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Vogs. We did have a VR, we did have SVR podcast before. So, yeah, give us a mention if you are the number 1. That'd be really cool. Big Bass Bailing says he's loving the POVs. Thank you. Appreciate it. It takes a lot of work. But yeah, Vogs, appreciate the shout. So yeah, look out for us. And we'll check out the pod as well. That'd be awesome. Run DMC in P2, and Vogs also cheering on Roland as well, who is debuting very, very well here. 25.5 seconds Vader's lead, having made his pit stop, and everybody groaned. Run DMC on his new soft tyres comes out of the pit lane, 18.8 ahead of Mappy. Looks like our podium is fairly settled, but there's Beragos behind Mappy. and they're on similar age medium tyres. Now, normal run of things, you would expect Barragos to be faster than Mappy, and he is faster than Mappy on his last few laps. Is he fast enough with 7 to go? Barragos had no confidence coming in here, but he's desperate, I'm sure, now that he's in P4 with a few laps left. I think he's pretty desperate to make sure that he keeps that amazing run of podiums. Purple sector from Barragos. That will sicken Vader, sicken him. So I think Vader will just be eyeing that one up and then blasting out there on the soft tyres soon enough, although he will have to protect them a little bit. Let's watch Barragos here, because this lap will be really important for him as to whether the gap to Mappy will be achievable. Can he rob Mega Racing of a 1-3 finish and Mappy of his first podium, I wonder. Vader's on a boost flyer, so thank you. You're watching that live while I'm trying to focus on Barragos at the moment. 23.0 sector 1. Just want to see Barragos across the line, because he will get this, I'm sure, for one hot minute here. Out of the final corner comes Barragos. No, damn, he didn't get it in the end at all. Vader using as much boost as possible, 1.2 seconds faster than Run DMC's 18.9. I mean, it's no huge surprise to see a race lap faster than qualifying, but a low 118. I think he's on for a 17 here by my calculations. Let's see what he can do. Rounding the final corner on the boost all the way through turn 14 was Vader, and there it is, a 117.572, and he's still got half a tank of boost left. But that's your brand new tyres for Vader. Outstanding from Hill. 17.5 was something else from Vader. Now, whether he decides his final lap will be even better than that will be outstanding. But let's compare that out to the top times out in everywhere. In CO6 as well, says Lucas. That's the cloud cover track temperature weather system. There is Sol, I think, getting out of Vader's way, lest he be choked to death. But Vader in insane pace. And there is one of our new Gecko Racing drivers just getting out onto the grass, and that might be Vicinity back there. We'll check that out in a second, but here comes Vader. You can see the traffic in front of him. He'd love to pass them all and then go on a fume of fuel run to the end. He's saved so much boost, and he's just been so good at his tyre wear saving as well. Run DMC in second, Mappy in third, and here is Barragos chasing down Mappy. Can he break Mappy's heart here, I wonder, to the finish? I desperately hope not, for Mappy's sake. But yeah, 0 podiums in his SVR history, Mappy. Best finish of P6. So just to underline how very good Mappy's race has been out of his normal form here, yeah, so he's tremendously good. He's been in S1 and he's been putting in some tremendous results recently, but this could be the absolute pick. He's had a podium on a sprint race and one fastest lap, but so far there's a 0 in the wins and podium column for Mappy. So he's 1.1 seconds away now, Barragos. Has he spent too much of his boost and fuel? Well, Mappy has a little bit of boost left, but none in profit to Barragos here. Barragos is planning, I think, here to upset Mappy and Mega Racing. Vader and Run DMC unlikely to be beaten now. It looks like, for me, the top 2 are settled. Running through turn 3 we go. Out into the marbles slightly. Barragos just struggling on this start of this lap. Is Mappy just toying with him slightly? It's lap 45 of the 48. That feels like a very long time for Mappy to be able to hang on here to the end. Look at the race time. We're into the 63rd minute, and we've still got 3 racing laps and a half to go here. Zenith appreciating the Vader pace, a 117.572. behind Beragos, 1.4 seconds. The one thing that could save Mappy's podium, I think, here is to have Roland catch him on soft tyres and keep him busy there. A Uruguayan driver, Roland, as he chases down Beragos, who in turn is chasing Mappy. Just check in while there's sizable gaps between those two. Pumpkin King ahead of Jose, with Smokey in 8th, Christo close behind. Christo has had a busy old day with drivers in front and behind of him throughout. There's Vicinity in P10, AMAC in 11th, Soulshock and V8 12th and 13th. Yeah, really poor race, unfortunately, for PSV Racing. Just hasn't hooked up today. With Matt in P14 as well. He'll be disappointed with that, I'm sure. Vader trying to get past the Brokaga in front of him and have a run to the end of the race. There's the boost in effect as he goes through. And we'll just drop back to see where Mappy is and Beragos just losing a little bit of time there. 1.3 seconds in front, 1.7 behind Roland. Likewise, softs going off for Roland. We did speculate that maybe 10 laps was a little bit ambitious for Roland to discover how the softs degrade at this late stage of the race. But that is Mappy slow in the middle sector. It's down to underneath a second. Beragos has kept maybe a second of boost remaining to him. Unfortunately, Mappy has nothing to fight back with on Beragos. Beragos going to complete a run of podiums that is absolutely outstanding, and in so doing would take a podium away from Mappy. Check of the mirrors there from Mappy's avatar. It doesn't quite work like that. If I had Mappy's POV on screen, you'd be able to see when he checks his mirrors, but yeah, the drivers just kind of, the avatars do that for the drivers, but it doesn't work in VR. We wish it did, and we wish hand signals worked as well, but sadly not. Anyway, lap 47 begins of the 48, and we have a show-stopping finale here for you for the final step of the podium. Vader and Run DMC will not be beaten. Keep your eye on the on Vader's time display there. You'll just see purple times pop up if he is putting in a good time. I'm sure that's what Redux managed to do for us before. Beragos running wide there. It hasn't dropped much beneath 0.8 of a second. It still kept 1 pixel of the boost overtake. That won't be enough to make a pass in and of itself, as Mappy is in front of him by 0.8 of a second. Can Mappy do it? All the support coming in for Mappy here. The final part of our race. Vader started his final lap. He's deep into the first sector, might even be approaching the second sector as across the line they go. The best opportunity for Beragos is down into turn 1 here as we close in our final lap of the race for these two, but Mappy is sufficiently ahead at this point. Let's just check out where Vader is on track. He's almost finished this race. Back to Mappy and Beragos. Can Mappy hold on with 0.3 of a second? Vader's been stuck in traffic, says Redux, so probably no fastest lap here. I'm dying to see what happens. Vader wins again for the 5th time on the trot in our Season 4. Run DMC will be home in second, but it's all about Mappy and Beragos. Mappy's had a good first sector on the way through here. Crooked Woody, he's going to need to get some stress relief in some regard or other on the way through. I'm sure there'll be a sandwich or two partaken of before drivers switch off today. Mappy is ahead by 0.6 of a second. Hang on, boy. Run DMC home in second for a tremendous finish for Run DMC as well. That is a season best first podium for Run DMC. Can Mappy make it 2 new podiums on the grid? Through the final corner we go for Mappy, and Beragos is right there. It's 0.1 of a second. Mappy takes it into P3 in the end ahead of Beragos. An amazing point for them. Brilliant performance, fantastic performance from Roland, but not quite driver of the day for me. That's going to go by way of the second mega driver, Mappy. Pumpkin King home in 6th. Everybody else has crossed the line, but how close was that for Beragos, who finishes off the podium for the first time since 2024. But insane stuff to see from Vader there, with his John 316 on his on the back of his race outfit, pole position, fastest lap, led every lap, I'm pretty sure. And Vader takes it home. I'm not going to be able to do any more commentary for a while. Thank you so much to the drivers for ruining my voice at the end of a very long spell today. I think I've been on since 3:45 my time. It's now 8 p.m. Vader home on a 1:17.5, 1 hour and 6 race time there. That was huge from them. Run DMC in second, but how about that from Mappy? P3, please give Mappy a round of applause in the live chat, or with a spoiler warning in the comments of the video as well. I'm sure he'll absolutely love that. Mappy, driver of the day for me. Beragos in P4, the Flying Finn home, with a 2-second penalty actually on the car, so ended up finishing 2.4 seconds back from Mappy. It was less than 2/10 on the line. Roland, brand new to us, and finishing 5th. Pumpkin King in 6th. Jose Luis Cervantes in P7. Good results from all of these drivers. Christo home in 8th as well for a successful day for Igala. The new Gecko Racing finishing 9th and 11th, with Vicinity in front of Smokey, and then AMAC in 11th there. With Soulshock and V8, they will just refuse to accept that this race ever took place. I think Soulshock and V8. Matt may be feeling a little bit beaten up by today. But what about that? Vader for his 5th win on the bounce. Run DMC and Mappy with their first podiums. Tremendous result for them. Congratulations to you all. Thank you so much for sticking with us today. Please, before we disappear, leave something positive on the video. I'd love to read your comments. You have to tag me though, because we're on H3R's channel, not mine. Yeah, have to tag me at WebORed5 if you want me to see the comments. But thank you so much everybody for watching and taking part in the race today. Hopefully we'll get some of you in voice for the next rounds. But yeah. Love to you all, and appreciate you all once again. From SVR, from me, Webbo, thank you for watching. We will catch you on the next race day.